hopefully it could also be something that works for you. Hey dancers, welcome back to the Loft Ballerina channel. So here we go, let's talk about Gaynor Minden and why I switched and what has worked for me so far. So just to give you a little backstory, I did pointe only for a couple of years when I was a kid, only my last 2 years in ballet before I stopped. And I loved it, it was great. Didn't really have any serious issues, I was progressing. Then I quit ballet at about like 12 or 13, and then when I started back as an adult, I was immediately like interested in getting back into pointe because it has always been something that I was completely fascinated by. So after about a year of practicing as an adult, I got clearance from my teacher to start pointe. But I also had a big struggle finding the right shoe. The first shoe that I had, I believe it was a Grishko shoe, and it was great, but what happened was that any shoe that I got, I would just basically kill it really fast. 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, my shoes will be gone within 2 weeks. And then I would start to really bottom out in the shoe and feel a lot of pain, and it was like really discouraging. It wasn't until I went to a fitting in Richmond, Virginia with a pointe shoe fitter there that she told me that apparently I had freakishly strong feet. And this probably has to do with the fact that I was in the army rock marching in boots for years. So yeah, the muscles in my feet were really strong, not necessarily in the way that they should be strong for ballet, but just really strong, and they just destroyed the shoes. So she put me in a shoe that was like really hard. What was the name of that shoe? The shoe that she put me in and was the Suffolk Solo Prequel. And if you guys have ever touched this shoe, it's like 3 times as hard as any other ballet shoe. And that worked quite well for a while, and it definitely helped me improve my pointe work. But then also my progress, like yeah, I wasn't killing it as fast, but my progress was slowing down because just the shoe being so hard, it was just, again, a little bit discouraging. So then I tried a couple of other shoes, and it seemed that the shoes were working, but the problem that I always encountered was that I felt that for the shoe to work for me, it had to be so tight that it made it incredibly uncomfortable. I could barely demi-plie in a shoe if it fit me properly. So a couple of people had suggested Gaynor Mindens because they are made a little bit different than traditional ballet shoes. They're made with modern materials and they just perform in a different way. So I was skeptical for a long time because some people also believe that they help you cheat somehow and you don't develop the strength that you need in your feet. So I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. So I kind of hesitated, but after suffering for so long in shoes that were just incredibly uncomfortable, like I knew that that's not the way it's supposed to be, I went ahead and gave it a try. And it was during the pandemic. I was out of shoes and I had to get new ones, and Gaynors, they did online fittings. So I went ahead and called, and I have another video about how I did the online fitting. If you guys are interested, I'll link it below. So I did the fitting online, completely online. I talked to my rep on the phone and I sent her all my measurements and pictures and everything. And in a week, these shoes came in and voila, they fit me perfectly. I had never been so comfortable in a pointe shoe ever in my life. Now, I will say, there is a little period of adjustment. I don't really know how to explain it, but you have to like retrain your foot in a little bit of a different way. I actually feel like, and you guys let me know if you have worn gainers or not, what do you feel about it, but I feel like you actually have to work harder in this shoe in a way to get up and over the box. But once you kind of like synergize with the shoe and retrain yourself from regular pointe shoes onto these, it becomes a lot easier to dance in them. I don't know how this is for professional dancers. I'm speaking from the point of view of somebody that did pointe for a couple of years and then took a very long break and then started back as an adult. These are the shoes that I feel like I can really grow on my pointe work. Another great thing about gainers is that they last a lot longer than regular shoes. So far I've had these for a little bit over a month and they're still good to go. They're not dead, they're nowhere near dead. And also you don't have to do any of the traditional things that you do to a pointe shoe to break it in. Because here's the problem with like a regular pointe shoe. Like this is a traditional pointe shoe, right? For this shoe to be like soft enough for you to be able to dance in it, you have to prep it, and that means doing all sorts of things to kind of break it down. The problem with that is as you do that, you're shortening the life of the shoe. So yes, you're gonna break it down and make it comfortable enough, but then it's only gonna last for a very short amount of time, and then it will be dead, and then you won't be able to dance in it anymore. So with gainers, they already come and they make sure to tell you, like when you order them, make sure that you get the shank flexibility that you're comfortable with. Just this part, because that's how they're gonna stay. They're not going to break down or change that much with wear. So the great thing is you don't have to prep them, you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is sew your ribbons and your elastics and you're good to go. And I also feel that I need a lot less padding with the shoes. What I use, and I know you shouldn't leave your pads inside your shoe, I just use a regular gel pad. That's my chair. My chair is creaky. I use this little gels that I need for like the top of my big toe where I always feel a lot of pressure. Once I put that in there, I'm good to go. I have never had such an easy pad situation before with any other type of shoe that I got. Every time I got a new pair, I had to figure out the configuration of what goes inside. So that has been really great. It's saved me a lot of time and a lot of pain. So I'm enjoying really dancing more in these and progressing, and hopefully by the end of this year I'll be able to do all sorts of stuff on pointe that I could never do before. So I wanted to share with you guys what I usually do when I practice pointe work. I make sure, of course, that I do a proper ballet class before to be warm enough, and then I do some exercises at the bar, usually start in parallel just to warm up the feet, and then I move on to first position and second, then eleves and releves in fifth position, switching which foot is in front. I also make sure to do exercises where I use my turnout muscles. These are extremely important. And eventually I move on to 1 foot releves and eleves at the bar. Another thing I like to lately practice is little hops on pointe, and I'm still mostly doing those at the bar. Once I come to the center, I practice some piqués, just piqué up, some Ballet, definitely some échappés from first to second and from fifth to fifth. I'm still a little hesitant doing just passe ups in center, but I'm getting there. In general, yes, gainers have been game changer for me. I feel like I can be a lot more confident actually dancing in them because the comfort level is just completely different. And I'm not saying this is going to be the same for everyone. Maybe you're lucky. And again, keep in mind, I'm talking about adult dancers here, not about children that grew up and became an adult and danced their whole life, because by then they probably have found a shoe that is perfect for them, be it gainers or not. But from the point of view of somebody that has taken a very long break and is going back to point, I really feel like for me this have been transformational. Now, it might be the same for you, or maybe not. Let me know. This chair. I would love to hear your own point experience as an adult dancer, or even as a younger dancer. If you would like to comment, if you have any experience with Gaynor Mindens, please let me know. I know that a lot of professional dancers use them exclusively, and so yeah, I really like the fact that they do last a lot longer. Definitely from a financial standpoint, that's a plus. Oh, I forgot. There's another thing. So as far as the physical characteristics, and yes, my shoes are not even pristine anymore. So in the traditional shoe, the drawstring is in the center. So you have to tie it, cut it, and that's it. In the gainers, you see there's no drawstring here. The drawstring is on the inside. So from an aesthetic point of view, that's kind of nice. The only drawback of that is if you are a person that has two slightly different sizes of feet and you need to buy a different size of shoe for each foot, then that might be a problem. And that is more common than you'd think. A lot of dancers actually do that. They buy one size shoe for one foot and a different size for the other foot. For the gainers, you can't really switch them because the drawstring being on the inside indicates that this is the right shoe, and if the drawstring is on the other side, that is your left shoe. So then you would waste a lot of shoes, I guess. So that's just like, maybe there's a solution for that as well. If you know, please share. The other difference, which is not exclusive to gainers, but all Gaynor Mindens definitely have this. So on a traditional shoe, this area right here has pleats. Right underneath the box, it has pleats. Now, gainers is just completely flat. Now there's other classical shoes that is also done this way. It seems to be something that's kind of a trend right now. This helps you, I think, feel the floor a little better. In my case particularly, they are a little bit easier for me to maintain my turnout on while on point as compared with other shoes. Now that could be just me, but that's really important. So that was my review and my insights on my Gaynor Minden Pointe shoes. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please share your pointe shoe stories with me, and give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Hey there, if you enjoyed this type of video, please make sure to share it with other people that would also enjoy it. And also interact with it, post a comment, and let me know what you thought. Thank you.